Falxian flagship. No signals coming from most of the celestial bodies. Sparse signals between them. One ship detected further away from the signal sources than the others. The captain of the ship, and commander of the adjoined fleet, none of which was present, got excited. Set heading to intercept the straggler's ship. We'll learn what this species is soon enough. The second communications officer agreed. It can't be anything of use, whatever it is. Look at their star. It's the calmest yellow dwarf ever scanned. The life that developed under it must be equally weak and uncomplicated. Agreed, said the captain, ready to entertain himself. The Titan-class flagship made its way to the straggler ship, which still listed lazily to the left of the optimal distance from the nearest planet. As the Titan had travelled, the captain had finished his gear's calibrations. "Deploy!" he screamed. The boarding party's ship launched, and nearly instantly attached itself to the obvious top of the tiny straggler's ship. The cuts were made, the connection was sealed, and the falchions started dropping in, captain first. The beings inside were making a lot of noise but didn't have any weapons or armour, whether as equipment or tools. Seeing this, the falchion captain lunged at the closest biped, picking it up by the flimsy covering it wore. He shoved his claw-shaped blade into the thing's torso and pulled down into the side, revealing its gooey centre. As the falchions had fun, they were more reminded of the small furry animals on their homeworld that they stomped on for fun as they grew up than they were reminded of the other creatures they'd found in other regions of space, and what they did to them before they stupidly went extinct. One of the unknown things jumped at the captain and swung one of its limbs at him, but it only made a crunching sound on his armour, apparently destroying its own bones. Comms, broadcast what I am going to do to the animal to all the other ships in the area. Let them know how worthless they are. It might make them scurry away, and provide at least some sort of entertainment as we give chase. Signal sending. Continue at your leisure, the first communications officer responded, sounding somewhat bored. There weren't enough of the unarmored aliens for each of the falchions to play with one-on-one, but at least the video caught some hydraulic suits stomping on one or two of the squishy things. Upon further inspection, one or two of them weren't actually dead, despite missing components, providing the least amount of fun for the leader of the team. Captain, both comms officers alerted over the relay. A small squadron of ships that were travelling between two celestial orbs changed trajectory and are now heading towards our ship, and signals on all inhabited bodies have increased significantly. Should we respond? That was certainly odd. Such beings should be running away, not running towards. No. The away team will return with me, though. Prepare to dismantle the new ship, as it looks too costly to bother upgrading to the necessary minimum. No need to listen to any of the signals they're sending to us. While you're at it, warm up the main cannon, and get someone to clean this mess up. It had been centuries since the Empire of Phalanx had anything but military. Each of the worlds they conquered were transitioned from generalist or agricultural worlds to military resource hubs, before being burned down once they no longer served a purpose. They did use their conquered people's technological components to make more of their own, discarding everything they weren't familiar with and learning nothing. They looted whatever stored foodstuffs each species has stockpiled, letting it spoil in their cargo holds. Then again, their bodies were not suited to fresh foods, needing it to liquefy itself before it could be consumed. The boarding party returned, and the captain made his way back to the bridge. Where are those other ships? He asked. They don't have FTL, so it's taken a while. They should reach our position in... The officer didn't get a chance to continue, due to his captain's interruption. Get to them now. Hopefully it's a warrior cast, and I can have something to do. Get in front of them. Let them show us their faces as they cower and scream. The main screen on the captain's console switched from diagnostic ship view to an incoming transmission, but he ignored it, and instead focused on one of the smaller screens to the side, showing a large, brightly coloured and extremely oddly shaped ship, leading the rest of the ships. Fire main railgun at the one ship that doesn't have bright colours. It must be the lead ship. The captain had killed a few captains and other leaders of other peoples, almost every one of them incapable of combat, but controlling others that were. The lights on the Titan's railgun started lighting up, not out of necessity, but as a countdown to suspense for the Phylaxians that watched the gun's camera. The metallic meteorite loaded in the gun's chamber blasted out, but instead of hitting the shadow blue ship's center, the ship itself broke into countless tiny pieces, all of which started moving independently, quickly disappearing from view. "What was that?" the captain screamed in anger. Scanning, sir. What kind of ship was that? Before either of them could engage the other again, their incoming signal screen switched again to some sort of incomprehensible colourful thing. 5 of the ships were in a vertical pentagram pattern, emitting purple lights towards one another. The beams of light condensed and shifted closer to a pink colour. Where the beams intersected, an image appeared. It looked like one of the unidentified species, who was moving rhythmically and holding some sort of very short blunt weapon, making noises into it while a cacophony of inorganic noises sounded alongside it. The same image that was in space in front of the Phylaxian ship was also on each of their screens. "What are these stupid creatures? Just fire enough cannon at one of the annoying ships. This is the biggest waste of time I can remember experiencing." The captain's order was obeyed immediately, but then a sound echoed through the ship. "Captain, second aft reactor exploded. Ceiling hatchway still containing atmosphere." "What just happened?" "The cannon has something stuck in it and it backfired." "Fire main railgun at their flagship. The other flagship was a decoy. The big one is the real flagship." The lights on the Titan's railgun lit up, but the oddly shaped colourful ship didn't seem to care. The gun fired, but instead of a fiery explosion of metal debris, the front half of the ship just seemed to disappear, leaving a multicoloured core and single-coloured odd shape behind it. "What is wrong with these ships? Fire again! Destroy all the ships!" The bridge crew didn't look to agree, but the captain's screams got them in line. "Destroy them all! Now!" As the buttons that controlled the cannons were pressed, more explosions erupted all over the ship. "All the guns were jammed, sir. Our main gun is the only one left, and the decimator is crippled." The second officer wasn't aware of the actual state of the Empire, but the captain was. He realised he should have kept his entire fleet with him, instead of having them scout for easy marks, being considered to be in the same fleet in name only. The captain's wind had failed him. "Switch the screen. I don't need a damage report right now. Show me the faces of the enemy that destroyed us." Elsewhere. Our first encounter with aliens and they destroyed a cruise liner. I'm sorry, Ringmaster, but I don't think you want to see what they did to the passengers. You would be right, Wobbles. What do you want to do about it? I think we should put on a show. I can think of something to do with the flyer delivery swarm. Wobbles looked at his console that made a honking sound. He pressed something, and a video and woman's voice came out. "Wobbles, get me the Ringmaster. The Billboard star wants to keep these evil aliens distracted." The Ringmaster smiled. It was really great to work with such professionals. Then we're all in agreement. Let's put on the greatest show orbiting Earth. Somewhere else. "We've trained for this, people. This is not a drill. Warships ascend and remain in formation." The General had gotten the go-ahead very quickly from the Emperor of Mars and the Moon King, almost having to merge the calls, but Earth was a little bit slower. But since the enemy ship was so close to Earth and it was so huge, hopefully someone would distract them for long enough for the various ships to get into orbit and engage. "General, some civilians have flown in to intercept the alien ship. Should I issue a no-fly?" There was barely time for thought. "No, wait, who sent them?" The officer looked to the ship's registries, coughing but catching himself. "The orbital. Sorry, sir, they're calling us." "Put them on!" The general sat in his throne-like captain's chair on his battlecruiser, looking at his oversized screen, and stared directly into a painted white face and spherical red nose.